Nature to me means freedom, means health, means greenery, and it means Wales.
It's really beautiful, and if you're really hot, you just go in the sea and it'll cool you down.
Nature's always been my source of uplifting nourishment. It's just something which feeds the soul. I always retreat to it when in times of need, and it's just something which you can't really escape from in terms of the rain.
Nature is just all around. It's just the grass and the trees, and you just need to learn to see it, and then you find that it's just everything.
It's the escape from the urban environment that's been built that we cannot escape from.
If we are giving more into the community and sharing with each other, it's going to be a lot kinder with each other and to the environment.
I love nature because it's nice and wild and cold or warm, and I have my own garden, and it's just nice to be outside. I love nature because it makes me feel free and peaceful.
Nature is everything to me, both in and outside of work. I've grown up loving nature and still love it now.
The confetti of spring is just taking your breath away.
Nature's my kind of escape, so I think we should preserve that so people after us can have that too.
My father playing by a big beech tree on the edge of Pontypool, and I used to play by the same tree, and future generations still use that tree. His name is carved in there from 1930 or wherever.
Where everybody can go and it's nice and quiet and people live there and it's nice.
I love going out for a walk and seeing the animals, birds and the trees.
We should live on nature and with nature. That's the future I see, and I'm passionate about it.
I'd like to see upland forests of Snowdonia reinstated, so the mountains covered in trees again, right to the tops of them, with a strata of the kind of tree line that would have existed thousands of years ago.
So I would like to see more inclusive green spaces and having it a little bit more diverse, and also planting with nature in mind. I'm really big on permaculture, so I'm really trying to recreate that in this garden and make sure we have a lot more food growing for picking and sharing within the community.
I think we can help the planet by planting more fruit trees to enable sustainable living.
For me, it's all about education. It needs to happen in our schools. People need to appreciate what is important about the natural environment and why it's so fundamental to almost everything that goes on in society.
We should stop littering and recycle more.
I'd love to see better access to nature, more people being able to access it. Bikes are a perfect tool.
Let's lead the world in how it should be done.
I'd like to see the government and farmers working together to make nature better.
Peatlands hold 3 times more carbon than tropical rainforests. They are equivalent to Britain's rainforests.
More talk about marine conservation and climate change.
Governments need to stop prioritising profit over the world we live in.
I would be so grateful if our local authorities would stop using pesticides, insecticides and herbicides at the edges of our grass. It's a terribly simple thing.
I'd like to see the government working more with nature rather than against it in their fight to combat climate change.
So all I'd like to say is if you're going to set targets, it would make it far easier for us on the ground to make them compulsory. End of.
I'd like to see the government tackle the issue of all the sewage being pumped into our environment.
I'd like to see mature trees stop being removed for unnecessary reasons. People must learn to appreciate these ancient sort of relics of past generations and for future generations.
Planning applications, my goodness me, been fighting them for years. When will they listen to the environment?
Everybody can be 50% vegan and 50% vegetarian and 50% carnivore, because then the world will be fine.
I'd like to see the government put in more deforestation laws against it, or more limitation on building new housing estates, because that usually affects wild animal population, especially stuff like hedgehogs, insects, pollinators.
I like to see more people look at reusing things and sharing things with the community instead of it ending up in landfills. I think we really need to look at the way we are being heavily consumeristic as a society.
I just would love for us all to just slow down and stop and be late for a meeting because you had to stop and take a photo of a tree, or because you just had to go in somewhere and have a coffee because it was covered in leaves, or just because the confetti of spring is just taking your breath away, and just dancing it. That's what I would really love to see.